Story appears ordinary until you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
It's so good to have you join us again on CoreTV News Hour. I am Frank Omalape, and here are some of the stories for filing at this time. Another explosion rocks the ever-busy Bauchi Central Market on Monday, a few hours after terrorists hit the Gumby Motor Park. At least 21 people were killed in the Gumby blast that took place early in the morning. Reports say that the Bauchi explosion occurred between 5:24 p.m. and 6 p.m. on Monday as people were closing for the day. Although the casualty figure is still unknown, unconfirmed reports say more than 10 people died in the incident. Several people injured in the blast have reportedly been rushed to Abuja Tafa Balewa Teaching Hospital for treatment. Meanwhile, suspected Boko Haram members have carried out a bomb attack on a bus terminal in Gumby town less than 1 week after the Nigerian authorities warned of likely attacks on soft targets. The bomb went off on Monday morning at the Duku Motor Park, killing scores of people at the crowded terminal. Security forces confirm an explosion at the park but have yet to give a casualty figure. It's the second bomb attack on bus terminal in Gumby town in about a month. Senate President David Mark has challenged security operatives to uncover the sponsors of the lingering insurgency in Nigeria. He also charged community leaders and citizens alike to cooperate with security agencies in order to expose financiers of the criminal acts. Chief Press Secretary to the Senate President Paul Mume quoted his principal as stating after decorating his aide-de-camp, our Chief Superintendent of Police, Abel Mire, with his new rank of Assistant Commissioner of Police. Senator Mark believes that unmasking the sponsors of Boko Haram within and outside the country is one sure way of ending their protracted activities. A former Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Zubike Hejirika, has filed a $100 billion libel suit against Australian hostage negotiator Stephen Davies for accusing him of sponsoring Boko Haram. Hejirika filed a suit before an Abuja High Court through a team of lawyers led by 3 senior advocates of Nigeria. He also seeks an order compelling the defendant to publish a dull and unqualified retraction and apology conspicuously in the front page of a newspaper to assuage the plaintiff for the said false, malicious and libelous publication. This, according to Hejirika, is because he retired after serving the army without blemish, but has had his image tarnished by the Australian who link him with insurgents. The plaintiff has since obtained an order of court to serve the process on the defendant abroad, and his lawyers have consequently applied to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to enable them serve Davies, who lives in Perth, Australia. The police authorities said operational strategies are in place to enhance security provisions during this year's Christmas holiday and beyond. Police spokesman Emmanuel Juko said in a statement that Inspector General Police Sulaiman Abba has since directed all zonal assistant Inspector General Police and commissioners in charge of state commands to ensure police visibility and patrols in their domains. The police is also deploying striking units including Police Mobile Force, Special Protection Unit, Counter-Terrorism Unit and Anti-Bomb Squad as part of the security measures. Police Air Wing will carry out air surveillance patrols, while the Marine Police will ensure a sustained patrol of all waterways. Operators of public places are further advised to be vigilant and ensure that they properly screen all visitors and users of their facilities during the Yuletide celebration. Members of the public are also urged to report any suspicious movement in their areas to the police. The Bring Back Our Girls group on Monday visited the Pakistani embassy in Abuja to condole with the Asian country over the murder of 145 school children and teachers by the Taliban in Peshawar, Pakistan. The group said in a statement issued after the visit that it was concerned over the killing and urged the international community to work together in setting up processes that protect children in and out of school in conflict-prone areas. It also challenged the global community to join hands and confront terrorists everywhere they exist. The protest movement compared the Peshawar killings to the murder of 59 school children in Federal Government College, Buniyadi in 2013. 23 students of Government Comprehensive Senior Science Secondary School, Potiskan, Edo State in November 2014, as well as the abduction in April 2014 of 276 Chibok girls, with 219 of them still missing. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has honored several of its past and present operatives who contributed to the successes it has recorded since inception in 2003. Aside from rewarding pioneer staff, the EFCC leadership also singled out a number of operatives for acts ranging from solving difficult cases to securing convictions. Basiai has more from the Commission's maiden rewards and recognition ceremony in Abuja.
They have come from across the country after serving the nation at different levels within the anti-graft agency. Some were rewarded for long service, while others received Integrity Award, amongst other categories. Over 150 EFCC staff were honored for excellence, hard work, and commitment to service. And while the good ones are receiving honors, the Commission is not shying away from sanctioning the bad eggs in its ranks.
Having gone through all necessary legal and administrative procedures, a few officers have been dismissed from service, some are being prosecuted for unethical and unprofessional conduct, while others are facing various milder forms of disciplinary measures.
Delivering an address titled "Rewarding Excellence and Integrity in Service," the keynote speaker stressed the need to celebrate the achievements of the Commission. He, however, suggested that divine intervention may be needed in the war against corruption.
Nigeria shall raise her hands to God. The Lord shall deliver us out of our trials. That delivery shall not be by chance. He is doing so already, employing secondary agencies such as the EFCC.
Pioneer chairman of the Commission, on his part, is convinced that the EFCC leadership is on track in spite of the challenges.
The way we started, we have no option to continue that way. We tried from the very beginning, like I said, dream, believe, passion, the passion to do it, the commitment, the zeal, the enthusiasm, the belief that if you don't do it, nobody else will do it. This is what EFCC is all about.
In celebrating excellence amongst its staff, the EFCC is taking a cue from the United States Federal Bureau of Investigation, which it actually understudied before coming up with its first ever recognition ceremony for deserving operatives. Basiaye, CoreTV News, Abuja.
The federal government has assured civil servants in some ministries, departments and agencies that their 3-month salary arrears will be paid before Christmas. Finance Minister Ngozi Okojo-Iweala gave the assurance in a statement issued by her special advisor on communication, Paul Nwabweko, in Abuja. She said the salaries have since last Friday been processed and will be released as soon as possible. At least 14 MDAs are affected by what the finance minister claims is a technical glitch which affected the integrated personnel and payroll information system. He says the system shut down the process in the MDAs as a result of an alleged misuse of salary budgets to pay promotion arrears and other allowances. The ministry added that steps have been taken to rectify the problem with a view to paying the salary arrears of staff of the affected government agencies. You're still watching CoreTV News on the hour. We'll take a break shortly. We'll be back with more stories after this timeout. Join us again.
Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on Digi360. 2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world again?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions.
And now for more information on our news and other programs, visit our Facebook page. It's facebook.com/CoreTV News. You can also log on to our Twitter handle at CoreTV News NG. And our Twitter, YouTube now is youtube.com/CoreTV. Leave a space, the news. The Independent National Electoral Commission is convinced that the 2015 elections would be more credible than that of 2011. INEC Chairman Atahiru Jega gave this assurance at the 7th General Assembly of the National Council of Traditional Rulers of Nigeria in Abuja. He also appealed to the traditional rulers to partner with INEC in its speech to make a success of the forthcoming polls.
As an election management body, may not be good enough until and unless all the stakeholders discharge their responsibilities and join hands together to ensure free, fair, and credible elections. As we prepare for the 2015 general elections, therefore, we must do everything possible to promote peaceful conduct.
Meanwhile, the federal government has appealed to traditional rulers across the country to enlighten their subjects on peaceful conduct during and after the elections. This was the thrust of President Goodluck Jonathan's message at the 7th General Assembly of the National Council of Traditional Rulers of Nigeria, with the theme sustaining the natural mandate of the traditional institutions in contemporary Nigeria. Speaking through the Vice President Amadi Sambo, the President acknowledged the unifying force and the tremendous contributions of the traditional institution in maintaining peace and stability in the country. The President used the opportunity to also call on the royal fathers to join hands with governments at all levels to stem the tide of security challenges in the country. Earlier, the Sultan of Sokoto, Sarad Abubakar III, reaffirmed the commitment of traditional rulers to the peace, unity, and stability of the nation, but also urged the government to positively look into their recommendations. He said the Assembly was going to extensively deliberate on issues affecting the country, particularly INEC's preparation for the 2015 general elections and insecurity ravaging the northeastern part of the country. The presidential candidate of the All Progressive Congress, Muhammadu Buhari, has issued his first tweet from his official handle since winning the mandate of his party. In his first tweet, the candidate thanked his supporters and volunteers and all who supported his campaign and spread his messages through different handles. A statement issued by Buhari's media team showed his social media handles on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at this Buhari. Within 6 hours, the APC presidential candidate had over 12,000 followers, and as at 8 p.m., it has reached 14,500 followers. Meanwhile, mixed reactions trail over the fundraise for the President Jonathan campaign ahead of the 2015 presidential election. There's so much talk about 21.27 billion naira raised by some wealthy Nigerians and corporate organizations has elicited the concerns around the country. Our correspondent Omotayo Alo 6 opinions on the issue in Lagos and filing this report.
These public affairs analysts and politicians say they have no problem with the sum raised and stress that individuals who donated to the cause have the right to what they used their money for. The same way the party could decide on how it wishes to utilize the fund for the cause it was raised for.
We cannot begin to blame people for supporting a party of their personal choice. They could have, there will still be those who believe in APC and they will support it. There will be those who believe in the Labour Party, they'll put their money where their mouth is. I think it's perfectly normal.
It is done all over the world. It is not unique to Nigeria. In America and in England, you raise funds for election purposes because you are not allowed to put your money and your hand into the government purse to run for any election.
For some, the donations appear more like an investment by the donors. They argue that it would be wrong if public funds were secretly included to finance the cause.
Until we are prepared to take our future in our own hands, it will always happen. So until we get up and decide that we want to change, and if you say you want to change and the two sides are the same, then it is a delusion to think that you can actually effect a change in just changing the face of whoever is the president.
That this money they are donating or they are contributing for campaign and so on will have a rippling effect when eventually that government comes to power. Because they are going to, it's an investment. It's like you have invested in a business. So time has come for you to get the profit. I think that is the argument we should be advancing. It's not that if you want to spend 20 billion on campaign, you should not spend.
Concerns have, however, continued to grow over the donations ahead of 2015 general elections. Omotayo, CoreTV News, Lagos.
Following last week's Southwest PDP gathering for President Goodluck Jonathan in Lagos, leaders of the People's Democratic Party at the local government levels in the state have launched a grassroots campaign to re-elect Jonathan in 2015. A correspondent, Oluwaseyi Adegoke, was at the Sheraton Hotels in Lagos and filing this report.
Like last week's meeting of the Southwest PDP, the main agenda of the event was to highlight the importance, value, and achievements of President Jonathan and the need to support his re-election bid. The Lagos PDP chairman, Tunji Shele, says the opportunity offers another chance to continue the Jonathan transformation of Nigeria.
By the time you go into the archives and check his achievements in the various areas my brother has enumerated, you will know that given another chance, Nigeria will be transformed.
The PDP Southwest chairman, Makanjola Ogundipe, smattering from what he described as a big success of last week's gathering of the party's chieftains in the region, at the same venue says it is necessary for the people of the Southwest to support the re-election bid of Jonathan.
That Southwest remain the key to success for any presidential candidate. If that is the reason, and that's the true fact of the case, here in the Southwest, somebody whispered to me that Edo State is a colony, and that you are autonomous, and that there's no way anybody can wish you away. But above that, the Southwest is key to the coming election.
In the same vein, chairman of the PDP leaders at the local government levels, Muftau Babalola, urged Lagosians to queue behind Jonathan come 2015.
We are determined not only to return Mr. President and his five Ashite Namadisambu, but also to take Lagos State for PDP come 2015.
We want President Jonathan to stay in place and continue the good work of the past 4 years. And we welcome the challenge of making our case to the people of Nigeria and, of course, Lagos State in particular.
The event did not end without the party urging Nigerians to vote for the PDP at all levels during the forthcoming elections. Oluwaseyi Adegoke, CoreTV News, Lagos.
The governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party in Adamawa State, Nuhu Ribadu, is finding the campaign trail quite tedious, but says as a task worth doing. He told CoreTV News on the sidelines of an EFCC awards ceremony in Abuja that he is determined to weather the storm in order to provide quality leadership. The former EFCC chairman, however, declined to speak on the uproar in the PDP ranks in Adamawa State over his emergence as flag bearer.
Not easy at all. But I believe in myself. I also believe that anything given to me, I will do it to the best of my ability. And wherever I find myself, I will do my best. Today I found myself in politics, and I'm doing my best. I still remain the person I've always been in life. And I am doing my best, contributing what I can to ensure that we have success in my political aspirations and the party I belong to. I have no problem or issue in that regard. I'm working, and I believe that success will come our way.
Away from that now, as the Yuletide draws nearer, the Ekiti State government has taken the opportunity to popularize its stomach infrastructure policy as the government house in Ado-Ekiti, the state capital, plays host to various categories of people. The state governor, Ayodele Fauci, led top government officials in the distribution of rice and chickens for the festive period. Fauci describes the developments as its own version of welfare package. Our correspondent, Rashid, tells us more.
It was an all-comers affair as the mammoth crowd that greeted the Ekiti State Government House cuts across all facets of the society, including the physically challenged. They all have a common goal: to benefit from the governor's largesse under his stomach infrastructure policy. For Fayoshe, it was a serious business as he personally supervised the distribution of the items. The beneficiaries did not fail to commend the gesture.
Oh, it's laudable. It's fantastic. We've not seen this type before. And we are very grateful to the government for even giving us the chance. I mean, this year is going to be a very Merry Christmas. I think it's actualizing the stomach structure policy of its government.
To the disabled and indigent, it is the best that could happen to them, especially at this festive period.
Everybody that is having the problem in the town, stomach infrastructure, there is problem in the town. Everybody is suffering about food, so that is why we came here to collect rice.
It's joy because I know that some didn't have what they can use to eat for this Christmas, and as if they are receiving their own now, they will start to be praying.
Fayoshe says the program is to keep faith with the Ekiti masses as promised during his campaign for the office of governorship.
If you want to sustain your faith, your hope, you need to be fed. You need to be looked after. You need happiness within your system. And in my policy, in line with democracy and the benefits of democracy, I must stand in support of the average man that cannot afford these essential commodities at Christmas. International community world over, that's what they call social welfare. This is social welfare, which I termed as stomach infrastructure.
As celebrated as the stomach infrastructure may seem, some, however, ask for gainful employment, as Fayoshe promises his government will create an enabling environment.
We youth in the town, we are suffering because there is no work. That is, if you provide work for us, at least even if you are collecting 15,000 naira in the month, it's still okay for us. So the suffering will be released.
It's not something anybody will come out that I can solve problem of unemployment overnight. But there will be the environment that must be created by government to make sure that people get employed, people get self-employed, and where necessary, the intervention of government to make them happy.
Going by the development, a large number of Ekiti people have bought into the stomach infrastructure policy. How long will this remain is, however, matter of conjecture. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ado-Ekiti.
Outside Nigeria now, Hong Kong property tycoon Thomas Cook and its former deputy leader were jailed for corruption Tuesday after a blockbuster trial that shocked the city and defended anger at causal ties between officialdom and big business. Hui, 66, was jailed for 7.5 years after being convicted on 5 graft charges, including misconduct in a public office, making him the highest-ranking official in Hong Kong's history to be found guilty of taking bribes. Kwok, 63, who was joint chairman of the southern Chinese city's bigger property company, Suyong Hai, was sentenced to 5 years after he was found guilty of conspiracy to commit misconduct in a public office over a series of payments totaling 8.5 million Hong Kong dollar to former Chief Secretary Hui. The sentences come as resentment grows among the public over the causal relationship between the government and the city's business elite. Hong Kong's widening wealth gap and social inequality partly underpinned mass pro-democracy protests that brought parts of the city to a standstill for months until rally sites were cleared last week. The 7-month graft trial centered around a total of 34 million Hong Kong dollar in handouts, which the prosecution said were made to Hui by Thomas Kwok and his billionaire brother Raymond to be their eyes and ears in government. Raymond was cleared of charges and Thomas cleared of 2 out of 3 against him. Well, it does a wrap on CoreTV News at this time. Many thanks for watching. I am Frank Omalape. I'll be back for more at 5. Edo State.